Believe me, you'll watch this next video and you'll feel so proud to be living in an era that we are today. I mean, now we have so many bright young people creating products, that could really help society and help us get more efficient use out of ourselves and everybody in our society, and they're not having to go through some big company and wait for gatekeepers. They're just doing it themselves on the internet. I mean, these young guys that developed this product, man, it's really like a wheelchair that makes you feel like a rock star. You know how in their lives, we see people in wheelchairs and we feel sorry for them, and I'm sure they feel sorry for themselves in a way because they're not treated the same and everything. Well, man, they developed this wheelchair that just looks like a sports car, man. And it operates like that. It can go like hell if it wants. It goes over all kind of terrains and everything. And it's not outrageously priced. It's reasonable. It's not like one of those $200,000 cars we have nowadays. No, it's reasonable for the average person that makes them feel special, makes them feel contributing more in life. That gives them more satisfaction because people are coming up to them because they're so special just by having this chair. It's the same way like me with the suit. People come up to me. I'm the same schmuck who grew up in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, but they think I'm some special guy because I wear this thing. And that's what how our society is. And that part of it is fun. So we could get more out of the individual lives that we have in this society by treating them special. So we have people like this that are identifying needs of people that have unusual needs, and they have to be satisfied too, besides the masses, the rest of us. And that's what's neat. And then they're using technology, and they're smarts, and the tools of the internet, so they don't have to go to some big company to get approval to do something, and the people will never see a market, and why do that? No, they're just going right on the internet. They think it's so good, and they know, and in their heart, they're driven with their heart. And that's what's so neat about the internet too. You can drive with your heart. You don't have to convince the world yet. The people will tell you. You put your product on the internet like this, and that will tell you. You don't have to have some smarty pants say it's good, because the smarty pants don't know anymore. It can't. Life's too complicated for smarty pants to know everything. But the group does. I mean, this is why it's crowds, that tell you whether it's good or not, and then you know for sure. And they're being so successful out of this. And as we're doing this now, they're only halfway through, and they're almost made their goal. So this thing is going to be out there helping people, make people feel better. And what's better in life than to help somebody else and make them feel better? So watch how they did. Chris Koyama, and you said it's like your mama, but it's not like my mama because her name was Vern. But you got an interesting, I think one of the coolest things I've ever seen, on the internet now, because it's not only are you solving a problem for a needed community, one of the biggest growing communities, at least here in the United States, and I guess in Japan too, where you from, on the aging population, So people, you designed a wheelchair, man, that looks like a race car. and it's hip as hell. It's a what?
Themselves the Tesla of sidewalks.
The Tesla stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's what it looks like. Man, it's something you want to get in. These old wheelchairs, these little carts that old people drive around in, they just make you look older, man. When you get in one of these, man, you look hip, and also it has muscle. It's a power machine. I saw this thing on your video. People got to go to Kickstarter to see your video because, man, this thing climbs a hill like my Mini Cooper.
Yeah, it's four-wheel drive. It does really well on all terrains, grass, gravel.
I know, gravel.
Snow even.
Is that all because of those fancy little wheels you got in there? What's going on in that thing?
Yeah, so that's our Omni wheel. It's consists of 24 smaller wheels, and it helps that it's relatively larger than the conventional power chairs or mobility scooters, for example. That way, because of the bigger diameter, you can go over terrains easier.
Ah, I see. So, but it doesn't look bigger. Only it looks, just cooler to me. And I guess eventually you're going to make different colors, I would think, because this is ideal for setting up in all kind of colors and things.
Yeah, so hot pink is definitely
so this does everything but But it just doesn't go upstairs. But all the other junk in the road, you'll just travel like, and you say it almost floats over this stuff.
Right. So the Omni wheel. So the challenge with the front wheels with these mobility devices is that when you have a smaller caster, it gives you that tight turning radius.
I see.
But you lose that terrain coverage. You get stuck in cracks. It's harder to go over objects. With the bigger wheels, you gain that. You're able to go over things, but then you lose that maneuverability. So our solution was the Omni wheel, which lets you glide sideways and turn on the spot. So we achieved both going over trains and also the maneuverability.
I mean, it looks like the wheels go sideways. You park at something. I mean, you just turn on a dime on these things, don't you?
Exactly. So the wheels are actually gliding on the spot. So it gives you.
And what powers this thing?
It's electric.
Really?
You charge it just like you charge anything else in your house, straight out of the wall. And
wall socket. So I don't need some big, gas station thing in my backyard to charge it up, right? And you say now it's going to have an app where you could call this thing to where you're sitting and get into it and things like that?
Exactly. Yep.
Wow.
So we've got the hardware design pretty much complete. We're working on the software integration right now. This app will be able to control the device remotely, just like you said, but also control all the settings of the device. So you can have a certain acceleration level, or some parents like to, have a set maximum speed for
governor. Now, your kids would love this bloody thing. But it's a classy thing. I mean, this isn't like a $200 product or anything. This is a substantial product, and no one. I mean, I've never seen anything remotely like this anywhere, and I just can't wait till you guys get this out in the market. I mean, now mobility is so important in our society. And it's so important, particularly when our cities are getting like Tokyo too. We get more and more people, and you want to get out and do stuff. But the coolest thing that Timmy, like in your video, you had this lady was in the shopping center, or whatever, the supermarket with her thing, and she said people were coming up to her asking, and saying how cool she was in this thing, instead of her being embarrassed because she had some kind of disability and couldn't walk normally.
Yeah, that's actually a big part of what we're trying to do is change people's perception about mobility devices. People tend to be a little embarrassed about the device they're in. They feel less confident. But we're trying to change that through smart design and advanced technology like the Omni we were just talking about.
But I mean, the whole thing, right? I guess you're cool. Now you're cool with a disability for the first time. Yeah? Now you attract people because of the disability. And people come up and really have a great reason to talk to you. And I would think if you had a disability, I mean, I feel like people are afraid to even say hello because they don't know how to deal with somebody with a disability and things like that. So they're afraid to ask. And that breaks all these barriers, doesn't it?
It really does. My dad's in a wheelchair, and I'm embarrassed as much as being in this ugly, bulky device. And I think just changing how you feel about yourself and being confident. It can be done through something like you said. It can be an advantage being in these devices.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's like you're driving a Tesla, as you said, around. People, hey, what's that? What are you doing? Hey, that's cool. And that's one of these things. Particularly that's why I think the most important time to get one now is on Kickstarter, because you'll be the first one in your neighborhood for sure with anything remotely close to like this. Once you get in the market, not only that you're going to have to pay more because there'll be more middlemen probably, but man, we see these all over, then you're not as cool. So you really want to be cool, one of the first cool kids.
Yeah, we definitely encourage you guys to go on Kickstarter and check us out.
But actually, to find you guys anywhere, it's WHILL.jp for Japan, not .com, but it's .jp, because your founder and you and a lot of guys really from Japan originally, right? And your technical expertise comes with it.
Yep.
Well, we
This
all.
project started in Tokyo. Yep. It started in Tokyo. And our founders used to work for Nissan, Sony,
I
Olympus,
see.
and these companies, manufacturers in Japan. And that's where we started in Japan.
Ah. Well, that's, I mean, the product looks like one of those high class manufacturing products too. I mean, they're not a run of the mill something you're going to find in Walmart, you know. And these higher classy products you've made into this. I don't know, why do you it can't be a wheelchair. I mean, because so you sit down in it, but it looks nothing like a wheelchair. Looks nothing like a scooter. It just looks cool as hell, and you don't have to walk. And it's called a will, WHILL. Like, I will get out today.
Yep. Yeah. The name is actually play on words. It's the unique wheel that we have, and also the will to change the world. Because
Yeah.
what we're trying to do, our mission is to actually change the perception that people have with
Yeah.
personal mobility devices, and the
Now, it's
stigma people have with these devices is usually associated with being weak and
yeah.
ill and stuff like that. So, and we really think that can be changed.
You're doing it, and thank you so much for doing this and being involved with it, and getting something as unique as this to the rest of us. And we couldn't do it without you. And, it's great, Chris, that you're there helping this along. And people want to do it again. It's will, WHILL.jp. At least, if you're not going to buy one of these things, at least see that video so you can tell anybody who has any kind of disability they'll need to get one of these. They're cool. Take care.
All right, thank you.
All right.